Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So right now I'm going to be doing a ClairTarot reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising Venus, also for your cross watchers. Also for any of you who randomly find yourself on this video, regardless of whether you have Taurus in your chart or not. So here goes. This is going to be your 2020 Precog forecast. With this, we're going to try and see a general outline for how this year is going to be going for you. Again, this is a very general outline. It's not going to hold true for everyone. You kind of just have to see how things pan out. Okay, let me just pull your guys' cards. Dang, we starting off hot and heavy. We are starting off hot and heavy here. Not in a sexual way either. Not in a sexual way. Okay, calm down. Calm down. I'm talking to myself. Telling myself to calm down. Let's see. Let's see. I'm not even really looking at the cards right now. Just trying to not drop everything is what I'm trying to do. Okay, I'm going to ask the Taurus energy if there's any messages it wants to give before we start. Oh gosh, Taurus is like really to the point right now. I asked the Taurus energy if there's anything it wants to share with you before we start, and immediately stop fooling yourself. That made me pause. Fooling myself about what? I don't know. Seems like Taurus is going through something, is still continuing to go through something very, very intense, something that has been really weighing ridiculously heavy on your thoughts. Let me just pull some confirmation cards that I'm going to set aside. Okay, that's not even a card. All right. Here we go. So card number 10, Neptune, sacrifice. This card is a very ominous card because it often has tied with it some really dark, oftentimes nefarious energies, beings, intentions. It's tied to grimoires, glamour, illusions, games that are being played, emotional, mental games. Taurus, this is feeling as though someone around you is manipulating you. Okay, it seems like this is something that's been going on. For some, it feels as though what's going on is they have a lack of ability to process their own life. Not trying to make excuses for whoever this individual is, but just trying to help you understand why you don't need to take it personally. For some of you, this individual is in your path, in your circle, because you're needing to assist them, to help them to correct their own trajectory. Okay. The bull is very formidable. And honestly, it's this sense that maybe they're brought to you because you might be their last lifeline. Okay. That's a huge responsibility being placed on your shoulders. That's a huge burden. That's a lot to be asked for a person. I don't feel like this is something that's beyond what you can handle. I definitely feel like it's something that will challenge you, take you to the outer limits of your comfort zone. But I also feel like in you having these interactions, I mean, your goal is not to save them. Okay, that's not your goal. It's not your goal. This is something you agreed to on a soul level. At some point, you guys agreed to this. You planned this out together. And it's this sense that you're just needing to be made aware, because you're probably entering a phase where you're really questioning if this is resonating with you, and there is an individual in your circle, you know who it is. Like, you immediately, as soon as I said that, you were like, oh, I know who it is. Okay. Well, this is for you to understand. All right. It's not because you're a pushover. It's not because, they're intentionally trying to harm you, or, just the common things that people would think of. This is more of a soul karmic connection that's playing out. It's one that's very challenging for the both of you, but the bull is formidable. The bull is strong enough to handle this. Okay. Ooh, I just heard loud ass frequency. What is that for? Okay. Card number 18, spirals of manifestation. I would not be surprised if the look on her face is how you're feeling at this point. Okay. Not just with this person, but with the way things have just been really tumultuous for you for so long. A lot of the Taurus that I know, because I know quite a few, it's been nonstop uphill. As soon as you get to the top of the hill, you free fall to the bottom, like, wee, good times for a very short period. And then shit, it's another hill, uphill. Y'all are living a spiritual San Francisco is what it is. Okay, I shouldn't laugh. Y'all are like, it's this sense, it's like your spiritual journey is taking you through a spiritual San Francisco, where it's nothing but hill after hill after hill. As soon as you make it down a steep hill, you got another one coming. So you're probably exhausted. You're probably waiting for some sort of quiet, some sort of respite from all of this BS. Is it really BS if it's something that is a part of your growth? I don't think so. I can understand why you would feel like this is so unnecessary and unfair, but let's face it, one of the qualities that Taurus is very well known for is your bullheadedness, your stubbornness, your unwillingness to admit or see when your perception or assumption has been off the mark. And this is not about pointing out any of your flaws or shortcomings. This is about helping you to understand why your lessons have been as intense as they are. And this is coming from someone, me, who has a very similar perception as you. I'm stubborn AF. And I have a recognition, a knowing the reason why my life lessons are so difficult, so intense, just slam you against the wall type of intense, is because I share your same bullheadedness. That's the only way I learn, because that's what I choose, though. Okay, so it's not punishment. It's definitely something that's being chosen, maybe subconsciously, maybe consciously. No matter what, it's still being chosen. So if you want your lessons to go in a smoother way, you have to be willing to submit to the will of soul. You have to be willing to give way. All right. So, excuse me. Lady of the Stars, Priestess of Sirius. Whew. It's looking like there's a huge fire going on in your life right now, like an uncontrolled burn. There are things that are being burned up and burned away that are really helping you to let go of things you haven't really been willing to let go of. Okay. So with that, where is the dang? Here it is. With that, let me look in the book for any other messages. Here we go. Sirius is a celestial goddess, a star of unconditional love and wisdom at an extremely high vibration. It brings deep soul awakening, spiritual gifts, and a high capacity for divine service. Lady of the Stars is also an empowerment of all other oracles in the deck. She tells you to pay attention because something significant is taking place right now. Syrian energy takes the inner path and the spiritual healing journey into a whole new stratosphere. It is wise, ancient, and an extremely high vibrational energy. It takes a certain level of soul evolution to be able to consciously register Syrian light and transmit it on this planet. The heart in question must be able to consciously cultivate unconditional love for it to occur. Holy sheeshels. Yes, I said sheeshels. Totally fictitious word. So this is why this individual is in your circle. Not only are you gifting them with the lifeline that you are, okay? In exchange, they are gifting you with an intense potentiality to elevate your abilities, to elevate your spirituality, to elevate your frequency to such a degree that you can begin to take in Syrian type of light, very divine, very celestial. This is about soul evolution. This is about cultivating unconditional love. And it's not that Taurus has an inability to love. It's that Taurus has become so committed to this human experience, this earth plane. You're a very earthy type of sign, and you're needing to balance that with an elevated spiritual experience in this earth-bound life. And so the two of you are working together for this. Okay. Yeah, they're a little bit crazy. They're a little bit cuckoo, but that cuckoo is really helping you to grow. May not feel like it, may have you feeling and looking like this, like pissed off in your seat, not wanting to come home, not wanting to go out to dinner with them, not wanting to, see them at work or take their phone calls or whatever it is, the connection is. But, this is growing both of you. Everything that happens in creation is balanced, regardless of intention, regardless of details, how it plays out. It grows everyone involved, okay? It grows everyone involved in ways that might not be noticed right away by everyone involved. Sometimes one person will recognize the lesson and learn it much earlier than the other. Sometimes the other person is much further deeper into their denial, and it takes them years after all of this has finished to click like, oh shit, that was profound. They helped grow me in such a deep way. Oh my gosh. And it's okay. They don't need to understand at the same time as you. You don't need to understand at the same time as them, but you both are growing each other. Okay. So card number 44, see, 4 and 4, 4 being the number of self, 44 being the number to show you the two of you are standing together in this. This might be a romantic thing. It might be a work thing. It might be, a family thing, platonic friendship thing. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But the two of you are you are needing to seek the beauty in this connection. All right. Don't just focus on the negatives. Don't just focus on how unfair the circumstance has been or whatever's gone on. You have to seek the beauty in this, okay? Hold on. I'm hearing there's an additional message. Give me 1 second. 44. This is a time to reflect on love and seek out beauty. Create memories. Take time to enjoy your experiences, celebrations, and special occasions. The recollection of happy moments will support you. Look not only in the world around you, but also within. Seek out the loving qualities that you appreciate about yourself. Search for your own beauty. Look at yourself and the world around you from a new perspective. This is about allowing this to trigger a level of growth that can help you to transcend the ugly parts of these lessons, okay? Let's see. Here we go. Oh, shoot. Oh, hold on. All right. Here we go. Card number 21, Beyond the Mind, the Heart Beats. So beyond what you think of the things that are going on in your life right now, that have been going on, the things you've been struggling through, there is this very divine organ within you. Okay, this can be something that can help you get through. If you can release your thoughts on what's going on, because this is looking like you're very deep in your thoughts, and I can't blame you. If it's as ugly as I'm being led to feel it is, I absolutely cannot blame you for being in this mindset. That's normal, that's expected, and you have every right to feel that way. Okay. Now, card number 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. It's time to close your eyes to what's going on outside of you. Allow yourself to really go deep within. Really begin to give yourself the freedom to tap into that heart space. Go beyond just this human earth existence and elevate yourself to a spiritual plane of understanding. Okay, because that's what this is really trying to trigger you to do. That's why this is being allowed to occur, to elevate you at this point. A lot of activation is going to be going on. This is like a wild adventure. Um, mm, mm. Examine, look to the core, look to the structural foundation of what you're saying. Where is that rooted? If you're having exchanges with someone, the things you're saying within yourself, where is this rooted? Are the things that you're saying to other people, to yourself, are they helping to grow your understanding? Or are they continuing to perpetuate the frustration, the anger, the resentment, whatever negative type of emotions and thoughts? Make sure you know where it's coming from. Because once you know where it's coming from, you can begin recognizing its purpose. Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, power over 7 scorpions, power to conjure lower vibrational forces. This is about recognizing you have badassery within you and you can handle anything. This is about you reclaiming those shadow aspects of yourself that can really neutralize some of the bullshit that's going on. Okay, Taurus, it feels like this BS has been going on for months on end. And I mean, look at that. You're pissed off. Okay. Your inner child is pissed off. And there is this feminine goddess type energy that is protecting the inner child. Sometimes you have to snap. Okay. Sometimes. What I've noticed about Taurus, when you get really, okay, let me just rewind this. What I've noticed about Taurus, when you love someone, when you count them in your circle, you are very, very patient, very, very loving, to the point where your patience and love begins to enable the very toxic behaviors. And you tend to not say anything. You tend to make excuses for it. Am I saying you deserve to be treated that way because you're doing this? Absolutely not. I'm saying you've co-created this. And sometimes, in order to rebalance what was created in an imbalanced way, you need to let that inner child wild the fuck out. You need to let that inner child be like, fuck you, and, whatever it is you need to say, and have no apologies for it. Okay. And after you've released that and you've shown them the boundary, card number 46. Card number 46, gratitude and appreciation. You don't have to remain in that really pissed off phase, okay? You don't have to stay there. The inner child can go from pissed off, conjuring the lower vibrational forces, to back being very much in awe, gratitude, magical, all of that cutesy stuff. You can exist centered between these two. You absolutely can exist centered between these two. That is absolutely fine. It is not you being fake. It is not you riding the fence. This is you embracing your totality and allowing it to come together in center. Being a totality versus a duality. Okay. So this is kind of your higher self is giving you permission to, speak up and speak out. I really noticed this about the Taurus that I know, and I know quite a few, um, they typically won't say anything. They don't really like confrontation. Just like, there's this misconception that the bull, you just wave something in front of it and then it's all like rage and trying to kill everything. No, I drive past bulls all the time, cows, bulls, all kind of farm animals. They're typically just laying down or just standing there, just looking around. I mean, that's what I know a bull to be. The things that were shown is just one small aspect of a bull. So the things that we're being told about Taurus is just one small aspect of your bull nature. For the most part, I don't think Taurus are like that. They're not overly aggressive and confrontational. They have a tendency to be like, you know what, I don't like your behavior. I'm just gonna kind of quietly back away from you. I don't want to be a part of that. But sometimes that type of reaction is not enough. Sometimes you have to allow your inner child to wild out. You need to organically express yourself. Card number 48, Yod, destiny. This is a part of your destiny. This is taking you however many steps closer to whatever it is you're supposed to be doing in this life. These are things, occurrences, connections that are really, really initiating trauma-induced accretion. Typically, because of the body of work that I actually do, I'm not a tarot reader. My actual specialty is energetic work, subatomic attunement, morphogenetic recalibrations, recodements, activations, all of that stuff. What I've recognized, the people who experience trauma-induced accretions, they're the ones who have an elevated ability, elevated potentiality, and the limits of the human mind kind of cap you off at a certain level. And so the trauma is used to punch your way through that glass ceiling so you could level up all the way to where you need to be. So this trauma-induced accretion, it's not abuse. Okay. It's not a form of spiritual abuse. I mean, the people's behavior that are involved can be abusive towards you. Yes, absolutely. It can be categorized as abusive, but the trauma-induced accretion itself, it's not necessarily to be seen as a form of spiritual abuse. This is about your soul allowing traumatic events to initiate the pulling in of frequency, because again, the way creation was structured, it will defend you from unnecessary harm. It will defend you. And when you are presented with an unnecessary harm, it initiates trauma, which then causes a surge of frequency, because it's like activating or stimulating the spiritual, energetic, parasympathetic system. That's your fight or flight system. Trauma-induced accretion is nothing more than a spiritual adrenaline rush. Okay. If we want to really make it an analogy that's easy to understand, trauma-induced accretion is a spiritual, energetic adrenaline rush. And in that rush, you get enough juju to punch through the wall, punch through the ceiling. Okay. So you can level up. So try your best to not see this process. And I don't blame you if you do see it as BS and just unfair and, abuse of you. And I don't blame you for seeing it like that. It can feel like that. Absolutely. But just know that's not actually how it is. Okay. Things can sometimes feel and appear to be one way when they really aren't that way. So let's see. Okay, here goes. You may feel as though you've been made a sacred fool, but guess what? Although you think yourself the puppet, who do you think is the puppeteer? You might think it's someone outside of you, but it's not. It's not. You have always been the one controlling everything. Your higher self has been controlling everything. And so again, there's no need to blame. There's no need to try and, find some sort of fault in someone else. All of this is part of a process that actually is serving you personally, serving your growth. So allow it. Okay. I'm not saying allow people to treat you badly. I'm saying allow the events to unfold as they unfold. All right. Allow yourself to feel when appropriate. Allow yourself to react organically, meaning you don't have to sit and calculate what you should say and what the fallout is. Sometimes you need to just kind of snap and be like, look, that's not how it's going down. Okay. Sometimes it just needs to be like that. Um, the brother in darkness, overcoming negative energy with feminine power. Ooh, that ties into this directly. Wow. For some of you, this might be a sibling, like a spiritual sibling, a literal sibling, a friend that you see as family. Gosh, I mean, aren't we all brothers and sisters in the Christ consciousness? Yes. Now, overcoming negative energy with feminine power. What is feminine power known for? For nurturing. Okay. Now, a good mom is not necessarily nurturing just in being soft and I'm going to bake you some cookies. You have a boo boo. Sometimes, for some children, a good mom is one that can be very firm and like, look, you are out of control. You need to have a seat and you need to just think about what the hell you're doing. What is your objective? What are you trying to do having this tantrum? Sometimes that's the kind of mothering, nurturing that a child needs. Okay. So just recognize maybe whoever this is in your circle, and this might even be you, to be honest. It really, the potentiality of who this is limitless. But just know you need to tap into the aspect of yourself, just like when this mother allows the child, the inner child, the space to release some of that negative charge, that aggressive energy, to defend himself, to feel heard. The mother in you needs to also recognize the need to nurture in whatever way is appropriate, whoever this is. All right. It's definitely a call to recognize this circumstance does not fit in a typical earth type connection. This is something very, very celestial, spiritual. This is a karmic connection. Okay. It's very easy for you, Taurus, to be like, you know what? This, by human standards, this is a no-go. This is a deal breaker. This is, life by numbers. Okay. You failed. You're out. You're out. This is a different circumstance. And it's difficult for me to say this because I'm absolutely, personally speaking, the type of person, there are certain things you can do that will be a deal breaker and you're cut out. That's just plain and simple. You do that somewhere else. I'm not dealing with that. Nope, not allowed in my space. So it's very difficult for me to say this. Taurus, definitely use your discernment, elevated levels of discernment, to make sure that this really does apply to you, because there will be some Taurus where this resonates, but no, you really need to cut them out. Okay. But for some, the brother in darkness really needs you. Okay. The brother in darkness needs you to sacrifice a little bit of the ego, the hurt that you've suffered. And hey, you know what? You have suffered some hurt. Okay. I want to acknowledge that. You have suffered some hurt. You have every right to want to be like, fuck you, get the fuck out. But this is a karmic thing that's playing out. All right. This is a karmic thing that's playing out. I want this to finish before March or April. We want this to be done before then, meaning resolved, healing initiated. And I think that's very much possible. I really think that's very much possible because, and see, it's a progression. Wow. First house, the body, card number 25. We need to make sure that everyone involved is not having some sort of maybe psychological or physiological circumstance that is preventing them from understanding the gravity of their behaviors, the effect of their behaviors on others. So there might be a need for some medical intervention. I don't know. It's going to be different for every circumstance. Every circumstance is unique. So card number 25, first house, the body. And then card number 26, be true to your heart. Oh, hummingbirds. You guys are going to be happy again. You really are. You're going to be happy again. If this is something that's resonating and really hurting your heart because it's like you really don't know what to do anymore, you feel like you've exhausted all your options, that you've been treated so poorly, you deserve better. Absolutely, you deserve to be treated better. Absolutely, you have a right to be upset with the way you've been treated. If you've been treated poorly, you have a right to be upset. Now, having a right to be upset doesn't necessarily equate needing to retaliate. Okay? Because if this is a karmic tie, which it looks like it looks like it is. Um, they're looking to you to figure out how to rise. You see that? They are down here feeling very low, looking to you to show them how to rise. It's just really, it hurts my heart. It really hurts my heart because look, all the people that are witnessing are just looking down on them. And you've gotten to a point where you're ready to turn your back. But look at them silently begging for you to understand. And I'm not going to judge you if you choose to make a decision based on what you believe you need. That's up to you. You have the freedom and the right to do that. But I will tell you, are you being true to your heart? Is that who you really are? Is that really what you think you should do? You know? Everyone's situation is different. That's why I can't make a blanket statement of everyone should do this or do that. Everyone's situation is absolutely different. But for some, this is a karmic tie and it's not just going to go away. Okay. This is something that's going to circle back around and be prolonged. I think if you face it head on, speak your truth, really create, define, and enforce boundaries, I think much more healing is capable of happening than just kind of turning your back and leaving. Okay. Because we don't want this to circle back around. And it seems like this is something that continues to circle back around. This is hard. This is really hard. There is a potentiality for happiness, though, because of the hummingbirds there. Let me see. So I'm being told with this image, that's your inner child, divinity, the magical aspects of you, the divine aspects of you, however you want to put it, whatever makes it easier for you to accept. It's been speaking to you directly. It's been whispering guidance. I think what might be happening for some, not for all. I want to make that very clear. This is not for all. Some of you need to cut off abusive people, okay? But for some, I think what's going on is there's some sort of divinity that is telling you, like, walking away is not really the answer. It's walking away it's not going to solve it. It doesn't feel right. And so if that's what you're feeling, if you keep alternating back and forth, you kind of need to pause and explore that further, see where that's rooted, see how that pause is going to help you understand. There's no clear-cut answer to anything. You have to discern for yourself. It's very easy for me to be like, oh, okay, these cards say this. All right, well, you're stupid if you don't do what I say. No. Mm-mm. Every circumstance is very unique. There are details that the cards don't bring to the table that would greatly affect my personal interpretation of the scenario that's being put in front of me. Okay. Don't make life-altering decisions based on some silly ass YouTube video. You do not put your life and the quality of your life in the hands of a complete stranger that has no idea what is actually going on in your life. I don't care how good the cards sound. I don't care how spiritual they sound. You have to make the decisions for yourself. You have to pause. You have to listen to the guidance of your higher self. Okay. You have to really be true to your heart and see where your heart is asking you to go. So, just to recap, um, Taurus, you guys have been challenged for at least the whole of fall and winter. I feel like this has kind of probably been going on since summer. You're not the only sign that has been having some elevated challenges since summertime. I think it's you and Aries. I think it's just you and Aries so far that I've really felt this strongly about, that have been challenged and primed since summer for things to come to a head around this time, because 2020, the start of the year of clarity, this is the year of clarity. This is going to really help you see how these circumstances that you've been exposed to, the circumstance you've been living in, are growing you, are expanding your consciousness. Just remember, you're never actually truly a victim. Everything that occurs in your life is affecting your consciousness and perception in some way. It's growing you in some way. Not all things that grow you are fair. Not all things that grow you will feel good. Not all things that grow you will be in agreement with your perception of what you deserve. But just know your growth is worth it. You are worth it. Okay. So things should be coming to a head. If they haven't already come to a head for some, it probably came to a head in like November or December. For others, it's getting real damn close there. You about to snap. And really, honestly, I'm hoping that no one even resonates with this video. That's kind of what I'm feeling, because this is really sad. This is really hurting my heart. This is really, really sad to me. But if it is resonating and it's starting to come to a head, I don't know how this turns out. I don't know how this turns out. I honestly don't want to know. I don't want to see in advance, because I don't want to be crying on your video. Because no matter how this turns out, it's going to hurt real bad. It's going to hurt real bad. This is the type of growth that involves tremendous amounts of pain, and the level of the pain directly translate to the level of your growth and ascension. I've always known this to be true for my own personal path, where as much as I hurt, that's how much I'm going to be raised up. And so I don't know if it's turned me into a masochist, but now when I hurt that bad, I'm just like, just get it over with. Just hurt me however deep I need to hurt. I'm talking to my soul, because I ain't going to just let someone hurt me. I'm talking to my soul. Just let me hurt as however much I need to hurt, make it fast, and then raise me up. And maybe that's kind of a mantra that you can consider adopting for yourself, because this is a very challenging circumstance. I am feeling that for most of you, the worst of it will be done by like March, April time. You'll have a better understanding of each other. I don't know if there's going to be confrontation between you and whoever else this is involving. Another confrontation where you really take the opportunity to just like lay down the law, like no, and really get bullish with them. I think that might need to happen. For some, I think you need to become confrontational. Okay. I'm not saying put hands on people. I'm saying, just really like stand your ground, start pawing at the ground, start having that steam come out your nose, out your ears, really put your head down and your horns up. You know what I mean? Like really show them, like, if you force me to, if you keep pushing this, I will fucking run through you, like let them know you have an option. Back down, because I'm not backing down anymore. Taurus, you tend to be a very fair, very patient type of energy. Okay. If you do snap on someone, meaning like, speak up and speak out, you needed to. Don't get hard on yourself. You needed to. Okay. You needed to stop enabling the way you're being treated and speak up. So don't get mad at yourself. I'm hoping that doesn't need to happen, but for some it might need to happen. I do see by like June or July, there's other opportunities that occur that are presented to you. These seem more like monetary abundance type of circumstance where you're presented with opportunities that would really be amazing for you, just amazing. For some reason, September is a very big month for Taurus. Hold on. I'm just asking. I'm asking for clarity. Okay. It feels like some September time for those who are having this karmic cycle. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it seems like this karmic entanglement will kind of straighten out, and then you'll be able to disengage if that's what needs to happen around September time. Again, I don't know how. It feels like there's this sense of loss that causes the two disharmonic components to stop and just sit. So I don't know. I think you guys have gone through enough, but I don't get a say in any of this. I think all of us have gone through enough. This 2019 was a freaking crazy year for pretty much everyone. So let me get these clarifier cards. I just remembered I pulled out additional cards for you guys. So 3 of Cups, resolution of a problem, conclusion, healing, satisfactory result, compromise. I love this. I love this. So it did feel like there was a third component. So, there were 2 components that I was thinking of. And it seems like there was a third component that that was lost. The third component was the one that was creating the imbalance. Oh, wow. There's a lot of interference. A third component is the root causation for this playing out. Let's see. It's a father-like figure. We got the Emperor in reverse. Okay. So immaturity, ineffectiveness, indecision, weakness of character, failure to control petty emotions. Yeah. So when the Emperor card is upright, it is authority, war-making tendencies, male influence. I think this is the third component. If it is siblings, if it is a sibling, there's a very high likelihood the father figure of that family had a very destructive influence on one of the siblings. Had a probably a very abusive, narcissistic, just a really that's all I got to say about that. So now that it's in reverse, because it came out in reverse, the 3 of Cups, that third factor is released in September. I don't know if maybe okay, even if they're not siblings, I think this has a lot to do with wounds of a father, wounds inflicted by a father figure, lack thereof. Yeah, the male figure in the person's life. It really fucked everything up. God. Let me just calm myself down. Just calm myself down. So, temperance. You also got temperance, moderation, temperance, patience, accommodation, harmony, fusion, management, adjustment, good influence. Taurus, it's not fair to place this on your shoulders, but understand the gravity of your good influence. Okay? If this is accurate about the father figure, these are childhood. Oh, fuck. How did I miss that? That's not you. Well, for some of you, it is you. It's both of you. This is your inner child pissed off at how you're being treated right now because their inner child keeps wilding out due to this abusive father figure. Wow. Holy shit. Wow. And then they're observing you pissed off that you can have this type of inner child at peace. Oh, wow. And so that's why they're pissed. Like, you know, I had such a fucked up childhood, and look at you, you're all spoiled. And that's why they're lashing out at you. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Let me just calm myself down. That's one big ass epiphany. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So your influence, the Temperance card, your influence, it kind of invites them to join you here. It invites them to join you here. That's a lot to be asked from you. It's not my place to condemn you for whatever you decide, but just allow some of this, if this is really resonating and really accurate for your circumstance, allow some of this to be digested by your conscious mind before you commit to any decision. Okay, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm not saying you should do this or you should do that or any of that. I'm saying, please look at all of the information before you commit to a decision. Okay, you have a right to decide for yourself. You have a right, but just make sure before you actually commit to that decision that you factor everything in, because Taurus, I know how your heart is. Once you make a decision, you stick to it. And if it happens to be a decision that's not in alignment with your heart for the rest of your life, you are going to punish yourself for turning your back. I don't want you to suffer like that either. You know what I mean? I know Taurus well enough to know that that's what you're going to do. You're going to hold it against yourself for the rest of your life. And you don't deserve that kind of shackling to a unbalanced circumstance. There's no timeline for which you need to decide whatever you're going to decide by. Allow yourself to digest first. Ooh, cows have 4-chambered stomachs. It's a long digestion process. Let that sink in. It's a long digestion process, but because of all those chambers and that entire process, you have the ability to digest even the most fibrous things, the things that are impossible for a human stomach to stomach. That is poetic. It's still painful, though. It's still painful. As an empath, it's definitely heartbreaking for me to see this. For anyone to be resonating with this really hurts my heart. Okay, let me see. Yeah, it's 3 of Swords in reverse. Distraction, confusion, disorder, mistake, incompatibility, anxiety, and loss. A girl runs through falling leaves, balancing a sword between 2 swords. So there you are, trying to balance this war while you're running. That it's a distraction. There's a lot of distractions being presented to you from your ego. And it's not that you're full of ego and the issue is your ego. No, your ego is attempting to protect you. It's attempting to protect itself. And that's causing an imbalance. And so you have to correct that imbalance first before you commit to a decision. Know that everything you decide will take you to where you need to be, but you have to take time before you decide. Okay? Just take time. I'm not asking you to decide one thing over another. No one has a right to do that. This is something that was orchestrated by your higher self and another person's higher self, or however many people are involved. This is a very karmic tie, karmic cycle that's occurring. This is a very profound lesson. And if you can navigate this using the GPS of your soul, you won't get lost. You won't get lost. You will be led to exactly where you need to be. Please listen to your soul. Listen to your higher self. It'll speak to you through your heart. You'll know, no matter how mad you are, you'll know in your heart, like, I can't just walk away from this yet. There's something else that I have to do, or, whatever it is, or your heart will tell you, you don't want to let go, but it's time to. Okay, listen to your heart. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anyone else. Who gives a shit about the people who's going to talk shit and tell you you're stupid for putting up with this, or you're stupid for backing? No, they're not the ones that have to deal with the fallout of whatever you decide. Don't listen to them. Listen to yourself. If you're going to listen to me, the only thing I want you to hear coming from me is to please slow down enough so you can hear yourself. That's all I want you to hear. Hear yourself. Okay? So, Taurus, this is intense. And there's really no pretty way to end it. This is just intense. You can handle this. You're strong enough. You can handle this. And this is going to grow you in such a beautiful way. Give it time. Give it time, okay? So please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live, okay? Oh, the mother still protecting the child. The mother asking you to please, patience, please. Please see the wounded child within. Please don't be so hasty in the administration of punishments. See the wounded child within. Wow, that's deep. That's deep. All right, guys. Bye.